Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan.
Welcome to K. Billy Sounds.
I forgot about that.
I'm Declan.
This week...
So random, eh?
So cool. The best. This week we're reviewing Reservoir Dogs. This is the first in our run of the Quentin Tarantino filmography.
Yes.
So cool.
Good old Tarantino.
From the coolest cat in cinema, some would say.
But is he? No, he is.
He is, yeah. Written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. Originally saying on the script, front of the script, to be written and to be directed by Quentin Tarantino. Mm-hmm. The only one of his scripts that originally said that.
Now, is there a reason behind that?
Well, for example, True Romance was the first film he wrote.
That's right.
And then when he made that one, he was like, he must do this film. Like, he must direct it.
Yeah.
But yeah, glad he went with this one. Little bit of a... you're right?
Yeah, just...
Itchy?
Yeah.
Itchy? Little bit of some info about the film. Obviously, there's not really much to say here because it wasn't really written or directed by anyone else but him.
Yeah.
And also, there was, though, some stuff done by Roger Avery, some radio dialogue, which... Was that the guy that did the actual background? Yeah. Was that actually him? I think it was someone else.
Isn't it that comedian with the curly hair?
That's who I thought.
The black curly hair.
Yeah. Anyway. A spoiler warning. We do spoil the plot of the film. And if you haven't seen it, go out and watch this movie, like right now. Like, this is a fantastic film. And come back and listen to us break it down. Declan, I start with you this time.
Yep, very well.
Initial thoughts on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, this is funny. This movie actually kind of holds like a special place for me because I'd seen it. Dad sort of introduced me to it when I was young, but then I remember when I was in about year 9 or year 10 at high school. My uncle was a actor in the local theatre scene.
Okay,
and they actually did a production of Reservoir Dogs. I can't remember what the theatre was called, but it's where the Dan Murphy's and stuff is now. There used to be like a little theatre.
Yeah,
dance
I know that.
there.
Yeah.
And this works really well as a stage play.
This is
because it all takes place in one room, basically.
Yep,
one of the things I literally wrote on my thing was,
well, it's 2 rooms.
Yeah,
this is a really good theatre show.
Yeah, and it was really cool to watch as a stage play, and actually made me go and watch the movie again. And I've always had a bigger appreciation for it since then. And my uncle played Mr. Blonde.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, he's really good.
Best character.
It was a very it was cool because he was actually actually a really good actor. He is a really good actor, but just too stubborn to sort of work for other people and stuff like work with other actors really well, and he was really good at what he did, but he doesn't like systematic establishments, if I can say it. Like, so
yes, yeah. He doesn't like
hard
hierarchy,
for him to make that bigger leap.
A hierarchy,
exactly.
Type
Yes,
of run and
yes.
scheduling and stuff like that. And
but if you listen to Bruce, you're good.
That's a backhanded comment.
No, it's not. He's really good. I put him in my first short film that I did.
Okay.
Everything. Yeah, he was good. He's easy to work with directors and stuff like that. He just doesn't like the corporate side of things.
Speaking of movies, when are we making one?
Some ideas, actually.
But this, I really like movies that are simple premise executed to perfection, which I think this for me is. And like young cast, Harvey Keitel was really behind it and everything.
Oh my god!
Steve Buscemi's really good.
Oh my god, he's awesome.
And
I wish he does more. Like he'd continue doing more serious roles.
Yeah.
He did Boardwalk Empire for a bit, but
and Michael Madsen, he's Mr. Blonde.
Michael Madsen is
Mr. Blonde. Yeah.
Michael Madsen plays Michael Madsen so well.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
That's true.
That's what it is in this movie.
And he's always.
One of my notes,
squinting.
one of my big notes in it is Michael Madsen would play a really cool Elvis.
Yeah, he would actually.
Yeah,
he looks like Elvis.
You know, the boss's son. What's his name? The curly-haired guy.
Nice guy, Eddie. Sean Penn's brother.
Yeah, Penn's brother. Man, he is like...
Do you know who he is? Exactly who he reminded me of?
Seth.
Jonah Hill.
Yeah. So that's
He's exactly Jonah Hill.
I kept thinking, mixed up.
I've kept thinking, remake this movie and put Jonah Hill in it.
Exactly what I was thinking.
But he's like if Jonah Hill was crossed with Joe Pesci.
I 100%.
bit.
I
Jonah Hill
honestly,
could do it, man.
honest to God, at times, and
I
my
thought it
girlfriend
was-
said
I
the
thought it
same
was
thing.
him.
We thought it was Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
I was like, I keep thinking that's Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
And the son in Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny though about this movie? And I don't know if you got these, Reece, but I think they paid a lot of homage to it. But
Big time.
Vice City and GTA 4, there's
Vice
so
City,
much.
so much from Vice.
So much going on
Yeah.
that's like very similar in sound. Because even Tommy Vercetti, I know that it was based like Ray Liotta did the voice and everything for it, but I think it's really
You
based
get a lot
off of
Madsen.
Mr. Blonde.
Yeah, a lot of Madsen.
Especially that scene when he comes in out of jail, like that's like the opening scene of Vice City.
Yeah.
This basically this movie is like incredibly influential.
It's good.
Super.
A heist movie where you don't even see the heist.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. They do that a lot though, like in is it Ronin where they you see a heist but you don't know what's in the I like
Yeah.
how they just don't show things. Like what's in the briefcase and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's the MacGuffin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I agree with Declan. I felt
The MacGuffin was the heist.
Yeah,
in this.
I'll actually even say further. I think this is like at least in my top 3 of Tarantino's films. Like to me, like,
yeah.
but I say this. This is going to
This is
sound
going to
harsh
be
when I
interesting
say it.
because we're doing them all.
I know this is going to sound harsh when I say it, but I just know
Oh, yeah.
looking forward that at some point, it's not exactly in because it's a mixed match of things, but for me, it's almost like diminishing returns at some point after this movie because I really love this one. There's something about this one.
Yeah, we do have to. We're going.
I'll do a ranking at the
we're
end.
going to do
Yeah.
a ranking.
Yeah.
I want to do a ranking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
definitely.
doing for each one, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Well, we can't do it for this one. It's number one.
At
so
the end,
far.
I'll do a ranking of all of them.
We do.
Oh,
Oh,
so
yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
do it
well,
like a score as well.
Yeah. I agree with you, man. It's this feels like to me like a pro version of a person's first film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that vibe, and real low budget. You don't notice it, but it just freaking works. And I think this is where I just think as Tarantino's movies progress, I think the dialogue gets better and better in certain scenes, and they become more that's a Tarantino scene.
Yeah, this is definitely more natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
The dialogue.
Yeah,
It's
and it
less,
feels
You're gonna bark all day, dog.
yeah,
You're gonna
and
bite.
I enjoy. You can see that he's got the directing chops here as well. The way he tells where the camera's going to go.
Oh my god, yeah.
The blocking is just so
The
good.
technicality of the whole thing.
Yeah,
is
even just like
so
when
good.
they're walking out of the shed
the car
to the car, it's just that one shot.
But even the choice there, like he can see this movie straight ahead. Like he can see it because his choice to walk out, cut the music,
Yep.
go to the car, and he's still dancing in the car. And
Yeah.
then,
It's so good.
And you can be, and just the sounds of suburbia that you can hear, like
Yeah.
kids playing and stuff, when this like horrible, horrific torture is happening
Yeah.
inside this shed.
Man.
Like,
yeah,
Goosebumps.
yeah,
And the little twist at the end, because I've only seen this movie bits and pieces. I thought I watched it before, but yeah, I didn't.
I think it's a movie that maybe because you've only seen it in bits and pieces, but it's sort of one of those ones where when you're watching it, you remember the first time you watched it because of the way that the plot unfolds. Like I remember my dad showing it to me for the first time and just being like, I just remember going like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
what is happening?" He's
There's-
like, "Just wait, you know,"
Yeah.
because I'm too young to understand about patience and like you're like, "Why aren't they telling me this stuff?" You know, because you do.
Yeah, especially if you're watching with someone else that's already seen it. It's like, why do they do this? Why this? It's just
But it's also like the magic of movies was still like.
it's just
It was like an infinite
beginning.
world. Like anything could happen to him. Now I'm older and I've done
If you were to watch
research
this
and I know
now-
about the 3-act structure and the way that like things callbacks and things like that.
Yeah, if you
kind of
watch
killed
this-
the magic a bit for me, from being honest.
Yeah, if you watch this now, it would feel so simple.
yeah.
yeah. Well, it's simple, but it's
Clever the way that
so-
he weaves the plot, though. It is clever.
It's so good, and it's a movie you can rewatch. I think.
Yeah,
But even just the opening scene when they're in the restaurant talking about
oh my god, that's one of the, but that's classic. That is absolutely seminal.
Talking about rude shit.
That's
and you've got
Tarantino's creepiness coming through.
I love that.
Yeah,
'cause
the
that's-
whole like a virgin thing. For the first
See,
time.
that's what I talk about. It's just crazy shit.
Yeah.
I just love it. So
The
I'll go
tick,
from
tick,
one
tick,
extreme to the
tick,
other.
tick.
Yeah,
That's a lot. How much tick is that? A lot.
and the famous tip thing and adult tip. You know,
Yeah.
thing like that. Yeah, but other than that, I think it's it's a good, it's a great first movie for him.
Yeah.
And I think and now we're doing this what 15, 20 years later.
Yeah.
You know, he's proved himself. He's a bloody awesome director.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Huh?
Do you reckon he's good?
Oh yeah.
I'm just joking.
Look,
I'm joking.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he's. If you're
Do
thinking
you trust
of
him?
if you're thinking of famous directors of all time, you got your Spielberg, you got your Kubricks, and I think you got to add Tarantino
See,
to this.
This is in a set. Sorry to interrupt,
No, you're
but
right.
this is in like a set run of people at that time. Like we can't forget at the same time.
You said
there was.
can't really American just then.
Did I?
You went can't.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Sorry.
I wasn't
Well, we can't forget
I was thinking
that
what you were going to say.
Smith, Rodriguez, Linklater,
Yes.
even kind of Del Toro was dipping his toe at this time.
Yep.
PTA.
PTA.
Yep.
I mean, these were all the people of that generation, but who is our head honcho? Honestly, kind of Tarantino did rule the roost and still does rule the roost now.
That's he is the one that's made at the moment most mainstream.
Yes.
But I honestly, when we
know.
get into the later part of his career, have problems with him.
Yeah, well, there's definitely, but we can go to that when we get to it.
Yeah.
I love his last movie.
Yeah, you're really in
think-
it.
except for a few of them.
That's going to be my Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's going to be my top 3 now. I'll spoil it for you right now. I think it's back on level with this one where he's restrained. I think he gets too out there and too. I'll be honest with you right now. If you listen to interviews with him around Django Unchained and Hateful Eight period, his head is so far up his own ass, man. He's so full of himself.
He does go some places there. Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh, that comment. Yeah, it's fair enough. But I'm not gonna talk about the movies. I'm gonna try and keep it.
I'm interested to see your list now because I want to do a list.
I'll do
now.
a list today. Yeah, I'll do a list.
and
today.
then I want to see the change.
All right. Yeah.
Well, why don't we all do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a super big change. I can see it already.
Yeah.
I think we're all gonna change up with it.
Okay.
Yeah, that was yours?
Yeah.
Done?
We should
Initial
also
thoughts?
say though, you like me to Paul Thomas Anderson, you're a massive Tarantino fan.
But I'm also I really love Rodriguez.
I know you do,
And-
but you do.
but yes,
you really,
yes, I
really,
really
like
do
Tarantino.
like Tarantino.
Actually, hey, while we're on that,
Every time I watch it, I get enjoyment.
Yeah.
while we're on that, who are the stars of today's directors?
What do you mean?
Like you got your Kubrick, Spielberg. Go even further back.
Denis Villeneuve.
I
I'd
guess
say
Denny-
definitely. The star directors of now.
Of today's age, yeah.
Definitely Villeneuve,
Yeah.
Nolan.
Yes.
Oh, geez, what's his name? That did La
In
La
La Two.
Land and
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Whiplash.
He's so good.
He's
Yeah.
really good.
He's good, yeah.
He's so young.
I'm
as
sorry,
well.
Damien Chazelle.
Yes,
Yeah.
He,
Chazelle.
and even
What
First
Alex
Man was
Ga- is
amazing.
Alex
He's
Garland?
really good.
Is he one? Is
Which
it
one?
Alex Garland. Yeah, he started as
Ex-Machina,
a
that
writer.
guy.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
Alex
Yeah.
Garland is really
Yeah,
good.
but they're not like. I think Villeneuve and Nolan are probably the mainstream ones.
Well, what are Inuatu and
Yeah,
Really?
but I don't think they're mainstream.
and I think they are.
Like if you ask a kid,
He's
Oh
a
no! Well,
I mean?
I don't think Tarantino was mainstream until now.
unless I guess if you're a film buff, you.
I think
Tarantino is like. Do you know what Tarantino is? And it's good for cinema that he is this, but sometimes it's. This is me being pretentious. It's annoying for me when you know so much more about cinema that when people go, "Oh, you're into movies. Do you like Quentin Tarantino?"
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
you
Like,
mean,
and
yeah.
I do like Quentin Tarantino. I think he's amazing. When I'm saying his head
Is
is
that a
so
mining
far up his
question?
own, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like when I
Is
say
that
his
the
head is so
Instagram
far up
post?
his
Do
own,
you like Quentin Tarantino?
when I say his head was up his own ass, don't get me wrong. I still enjoy the Hateful Eight. Like all of these movies that we do in this run wouldn't, if I was to score them, they'll never be below a 7.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Pretty
they're all
much, yeah.
great.
Yeah. Like just talking about it now just gives me a smile.
Yeah, like I said on
enjoying the
this
journey.
on this show, we're like sort of trying to discuss movies at a higher level. So I try to be as nitpicky as I can in some, and then sometimes I just go full fanboy and I can't even hear any criticism whatsoever of things, which is a character flaw of mine. But like
That's self-analyzing ourselves now.
that's what I always do.
Yeah, that's true.
but-
I guess everyone's like that.
Yeah, but so that for me is, it's always like, yeah, I do like Quentin Tarantino, but there's so many other people to pick from in the bag. But and I get frustrated with that, but I shouldn't. It's nice that he has made that leap.
Yeah.
Where he's kind of like the indie mainstream. He's kind of in his world. He's kind of in a realm of his own, really.
Yeah,
because
he
There's
does
no
his own
one.
thing.
There's no one like him.
he's like this indie dude that opens in mainstream cinemas. You know, like
He's also this guy that everyone has tried to emulate at some point in time.
Yeah.
That is a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And the only person that can be Tarantino is Tarantino.
yeah, they can't emulate him.
Just
Yeah.
like Michael Bay is Michael Bay. That's true.
Well, I would
I'd
argue
say
I would
that we can always get a new Michael Bay.
I would argue that Michael Bay is derivative of Steven Spielberg.
True.
Actually, yeah, even in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I'd say even JJ is similar.
Yeah.
Derivative
Oh,
of Spielberg.
100% JJ's a better derivative of Spielberg.
Yeah.
Even though I bag him out from time to time, he is way better than Michael Bay.
I understand what you're saying.
He's
It's
proven
like
himself.
when Tarantino's that guy, or one of a few directors where he's accessible to everyone, and therefore having a conversation with someone about Tarantino becomes something that is you can have that conversation.
Yeah.
The problem is that I think we go that step further where we talk about Tarantino to someone. And they go like, we love this movie. And you're like, yeah, but it's not his best. And then you can talk about it, and then people feel attacked.
Yeah.
But you're like, no. I don't mean it in that way, because
I think that's going to happen in one of these episodes.
But by not his best, I mean that it's so fucking good, but just not as fucking good as that one.
It's,
you know what I mean?
I think we've got to keep that in the back of our mind.
To say about that, you say is that mining stuff. Here's a flip on it from me. A lot of the guys were going, not ones that I talk to all the time and stuff.
Just,
you'd hear
for new listeners, Declan works in the mines. It's his other job.
You'd hear people saying, I saw that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at the movies, and I'd be like, what did you think of it? And they're like, shit. They hated it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what? And they're like, nothing happens.
My parents hated it.
Nothing happens.
Did
and
you
I'm
find
like,
that offensive?
I was just
offensive.
like, I try to explain
angry.
to people. I go, but did you not feel the whole time just like tense? Like, were you not like, what's going to happen? Because it's building, and they were like, yeah, but then nothing kept happening. I was like, yeah, but then the end was like balls to the wall, insane. And they were like,
2
yeah,
minutes.
but it wasn't until the end. And I'm like, yeah, but that's the
point.
thing. If you felt dread through the whole movie, and then you felt a release, then he succeeded because that's what he was trying to do. And they're like, I guess.
They can't come back from that.
Nah.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah, it's hard because to look at it from a normal person's standpoint, like an everyday watcher, you see it and you go, well, I can see how an everyday watcher can find it boring.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if you set yourself back a moment, which not many people do, and look at it and you go, wow. Someone decided that this is the route that they took, and I had an emotion to it. I felt something to these films.
Yeah.
And that's with everything. Even Hateful Eight. There are moments in Hateful Eight where we'll get to it. I felt like I'm like, man, can we pull ahead?
I fucking love that.
That's going to be an
movie,
interesting rewatch for me because I've
and
only
it's so
seen it the
long.
one time
I love that
at the
movie.
cinema in 70. I saw it in 70 mil at the cinema. It was the one time I saw it with the intermission and everything.
Yeah,
So.
it's not going to be the same.
Why do you
it's-
think I haven't
yeah,
rewatched it? I've watched all these other movies about 5 times each, and I've never watched that one again.
Because you feel like, well, in a way, Hateful Eight is the successor to Reservoir Dogs. If you think about it, it is set in one location.
Yes.
Yep.
And in all retrospect, it was going to be something he was going to do as a theatre show.
Man, the cinematography.
But that's just where he's gone. He went too far into his own head with that movie. In
But
my
I
opinion.
will say that there's two.
Yeah, but it's so good. They're all good, man.
There's only two scripts I've ever read from Tarantino, and that was before they were released. Got my dirty little grubby mitts on them before I was supposed to.
Is this before you're eating a brisket?
That's it. But that was Django and Hateful Eight, and I can tell you, as written scripts, they're better. I mean, I don't want to go into like the whole the book is better than the movie thing, but with Django,
I can talk about these later because
Yeah. Well,
We will.
I'll say one more thing and then we can move
'Cause you're
into
gonna piss me off.
then
we
we
gotta
can
go
move
into
into
Reservoir Dogs.
the actual discussion.
yet again. See,
know,
this is the
it's still a great
thing.
movie.
But I was going to say a good quote to tag what you just said.
Yeah.
And it's by a controversial figure, but it's a good quote. Woody Allen said that a movie or a story will always be the best that it can ever be in your own head. And
Yes.
from then, it's just how little you ruin it every
Yep.
step of the way.
Yeah,
Pretty
man.
much.
So that works.
Yeah,
with what
that
you
happens
just
to
said
me
about this.
every episode of these things. I change the score all the time. It's like shit.
But I'll preface all of Tarantino's movies. I don't think we're ever going to say that any of these movies are shit.
No.
There is
I wouldn't
nothing
say
here that is trash. And I think that's what I'm so excited to get into them with. You know, it's going to be good. But Did I do mine? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we
pretty
just
much.
sort of
we
did a
pretty
big-
much covered it.
we did a
We
big
like it.
conglomerate blob.
Yeah.
We sort of shot our opinions in the gut and bled them all out over the floor. If you want a Reservoir Dogs reference, that kept. I watched this with my girlfriend, and that kept because she works in health.
Oh, has she seen this? Have seen it before?
Never, she didn't like it. She doesn't like things that don't have like
Progression.
No, not progression. Like a definitive resolution.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She doesn't like open-ended things. That's why we finished Behind Her Eyes because she really wanted to watch it. And when I predicted what the ending was going to be, I was like, "You're going to fucking hate the ending of this show because I know what it's going to be." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, I told her what I thought it'd be, and then that's what it was. And she was like, "Oh."
Shit.
And then that's when this one ended, and she's like, "What is he? He's just going to shoot him. What? And he's dead too. I hate this movie." Like that was just instant.
But you also kind of you kind of do and don't know if he shot him or not.
He definitely shot him because there's a gunshot.
I mean,
Yeah.
there is
100% he shot
an
him.
initial gunshot, and then
And that guy was
you're
not
right.
surviving. But what was annoying was when we were watching it, she just kept going, he would be so dead. Like there's so much blood that he's lost on the floor. There's no way he's still
Oh
alive.
yeah, but Tarantino
And then-
likes it.
I know that, but then I was just like,
get her to watch Kill
she
Bill.
kept saying it and saying it. I went, can you please just stop pointing that out and just watch the movie? And then when he gets shot again in the big shootout, she's like, what is happening? He's still alive. And I was like, stop it. He's important to the plot.
I'll tell you this funny thing. My grandfather, when I watch a movie with my grandfather, you has to be like a drama or something. Because if it's something like, for example, do not ever put in front of him something like Fast and the Furious movies. Once you see something jump, like a car jump across into another
that's
building,
bullshit.
that's it. The first thing out of his mouth, bullshit. You hear it in the room.
That's the ethnic mentality. Man, I've seen it before.
The whole cinema goes quiet, and all you hear is him going, bullshit, in the fucking cinema. I'm like, amazing, you know? Anyway.
Hey, before I forget, because I had
Yes.
this thought before and I forgot it, and it's come back to me. I would really love Tarantino to do a horror movie.
Yeah, I've talked about this with you before. It would be cool to see him tackle something like that, or at the very least,
Like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'd love. Well, he was going to do that a while ago, but I would have loved to have seen him do just write one.
Yeah, well,
because I think he could hand it off to lots of very capable directors. And we've seen that with stuff like
what if he did it with
From Dusk Till
Alexander-
Dawn, which pretty much is his horror movie.
Yeah,
He wrote it.
But that's too...
But that's how he would do a horror movie. That's a Tarantino horror movie.
No,
Pretty much.
I want one more like...
Yeah, sorry.
I want one more like... Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when Brad Pitt goes into that house. That
okay,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
was
That
felt like
form
horror.
of like this, like a serial killer type of
that was cool.
tension.
So
yeah.
good, yeah.
But
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Yes.
Anyway, cheers to
Sorry,
the Tarantino run.
Chin.
Yeah.
To the beginning. What was this?
Salute.
Oh my god! Everyone
we should be
on,
doing
when we're on
vodka or
listening's
something.
like, what the fuck is going on?
Talking through his teeth.
You don't think of like his bug eye?
Yeah,
like
he's got those bug eyes, yeah.
He
What
reminds
in
me of Crazy Eyes.
Family Guy when they did that thing where his teeth all had their own faces.
Man, that's a great show. Oh,
Well, jumping into the meat and bones of the review here. We do get our first thing, the Madonna metaphors.
Yeah. I've got a fact about that later too.
Okay, very good. Yeah, the Madonna metaphors, which is definitely interesting. You see Mr. Brown. This says a lot about Mr. Brown because Tarantino went into the backstory of Mr. Brown and started talking about how he had a father that was an abusive father. The mother was someone who was just non-present for Mr. Brown. Like she was present but didn't care about him, and therefore he had this strong hatred for women but wanted to also be a part of the boys. And that's why we get that interesting...
that's a similar character to
Madonna.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, well, pretty much
It's the same
Tarantino
character.
keeps playing the same type of thing, and that's creepy.
Except in Django Unchained when he plays an Aussie for some reason.
I know. That
Yeah,
was weird.
super racist Aussie. That's super odd.
I like that. Was it Jeff Jarrett was in there as well?
John Jarrett.
John Jarrett.
I think that's why I got because he was a fan of Wolf Creek.
Wolf Creek.
John Jarrett. Yeah, I met John Jarrett once.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, wasn't good. I can tell you that story one day.
Okay,
We'll leave that. Let's leave it for Django.
movie.
Yeah, we'll leave it for Django.
Yeah.
But yeah, remind me for that one because it was very odd and awkward.
Hope he didn't touch you.
The iconic song at the start of the Reservoir Dogs walk.
Yeah, classic.
And this whole film's soundtrack is...
You're the soundtrack person. I always forget the soundtrack.
How do you forget this soundtrack?
Because I look at technicality of the cameras and stuff. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. That's so good.
You know, I'm not a musical person.
Yeah, but with this, like, that's all of Tarantino.
I just forget it.
His music and dialogue.
Yeah, his dialogue's so good.
Yeah, we can all agree here that Tim Roth and Harvey Keitel in this film.
Man, they're on fire.
All of the cast in this are coming with their A game. And can we just acknowledge how fucking big the balls are on Tarantino to come in this strong with this movie?
Yeah, man.
What the
I said
hell?
before, it's a great opener, man.
I actually think it's really iconic, Harvey Keitel in the car when he's going, "You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay."
Say it. Oh, my God. There's this moment here. I like this. What does Larry whisper to Keitel when he combs his hair? So there's a moment at the start where, like, he's laying with him. He goes, "Hold me." Yeah. And he goes, says something, and he's combing his hair.
There was no subtitle for that?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I like that.
He goes, he has a little giggle.
I thought it was just because, I don't know if he whispers. I didn't think he whispered anything. I thought it was just the fact that he was combing his hair when he's bleeding out on the ground was making him laugh. That's always been my interpretation of it. Because it's like he's laying there and he's like, "Hold me," and the next thing he pulls the comb out and he's like, because it's ridiculous. He's dying on the ground. He's combing his hair.
Making him look good before he dies. Before he goes to Valhalla.
Wow. The wide shot, also acknowledgement of the wide shot, the whole production design of this. It feels like a stage show.
Yeah.
The super wide shots of the warehouse, super simple. There's only a few, like a trash can in the back, a pallet.
Yeah.
But the whole floor is full. Like there's nothing, it's open.
Yeah, even where he frames, like, if there's like 5 characters on a scene, everyone has a little part.
And
so nice.
It always feels like there's a light beaming down on each character.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'll spoil a fact now for later, but that's actually a mortuary.
Oh, really? Because of the pull-up. Yeah, the thing that goes
and also
up.
when Mr. Blonde is sitting on the car, it's a hearse.
Oh, man.
Wow.
How good is that?
So,
awesome.
it's an old mortuary.
Yeah, very good.
We got the cigarette click, which I thought was...
He's a smart dude, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cigarette click, which I thought was an interesting choice. For Keitel.
That is how some people do those lighters. They flick them.
They have the Zippo and then they're clicking.
Yeah. I tried to say to my girlfriend why he was doing it, and I was like, maybe because it hurts your thumb less, but that doesn't say. I don't know why people do it. I think it was just a cool factor.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is huge in Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
He's always trying to do the cool thing. Look at how they're dressed.
Yeah.
I noticed a Willem scream as Mr. Pink's running away.
Yes, I heard it too. It's very quiet.
Yeah.
It's he pushes that famous scream from movies. It's in,
scream. Yeah. True.
He's running away down the street. And
he pushes those people out of the way. Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah. And how he unloads the whole fucking clip every time in this movie. Yeah. No one shoots 2 shots. They all just pump the whole clip.
That's probably like... Realistically, if you did have a bunch of people running at you, you probably would just freaking just go like just bam. That's what I do in video games.
My finger just stays on the trigger.
I just said here, there's so many cool things. The combing of the hair is so cool. Also, the whole story with Keitel, the Alabama story.
Yeah.
Where he goes, she was a nice little thief.
Yeah.
That ended off. All the way through this film, there's always these cool little mini stories. Like the Tim Roth one later on, I'm jumping ahead, but where he's talking about the Komodo. The commode?
Yeah, his story, fake story.
That's cool, that fake story sequence. I really like that.
I like that. And I like the fight between Jonah Hill and Blonde.
Yeah.
I was like, that was so random. So so good.
Well, it's kind of weird. There's like a bit of like,
but
there's a light amount of like sexual tension there. Like you feel like there's a little bit with like Vic Vega and Nice Guy Eddie.
Yeah.
You're like, are they? Could they be like? I like Nice Guy Eddie. Sean, that Penn.
Yeah.
He plays homosexual in Corky Romano.
Does he?
by the same type of character.
Oh,
I'm
really?
fairly sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me check.
I think they're just a bromance, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in it just seems like because he plays pretty much the same character in Peter Romano.
Oh, actually, were you able, Joe, the big boss?
Yeah.
Were you able to see him as anything but Elaine's dad from Seinfeld?
Oh yeah,
And he's here, right? I thought he
Joe.
looked familiar. He's just
George, he heaps mean to George and Jerry, and then Elaine comes back and she's like,
Yeah,
"Where's
he's
Dad?" And
grumpy.
George is like, "He's in the bathroom."
so grumpy.
He goes, why's your coat that color? Flip it in the other side. Destroys the coat in the snow. We get pretty much everything out of Mr. Blonde's mouth is almost like just classic. Like just classic. You're gonna bark
Just his-
all day, little doggy.
Yeah,
You're gonna bite.
Just the entrance with the soda,
Yeah.
the drink, and you just know you're like, this motherfucker. They're all wondering. They're all just saying he went psycho and shot all these people, and like, is he dead? How'd they get away? And he fucking stopped at fast food.
But it's just that's like a what's that called? And it's just like a
With
little
the cop in the back.
Little character trait.
yeah.
Yeah.
He kidnaps a cop, go get some food, comes in, and thinks he's like Mr. Cool.
And then they're like, and then one of them says to him, "Oh, what have you got? What do you got in the car?" Some fries to go with that soda. He's like, "No, I ate those already."
That's right. Yeah, he's. I think he's one of the strong parts of this. Well, the whole thing's strong, but he's great character. He is, man.
We do see a little bit of like the first film type of things occurring though. Obviously, we've also got so many guns in the movie, and that's kind of always a first film type of thing. People like to introduce guns in their film, but also there was a few ADR problems. I did notice. Especially with when nice guy Eddie first enters the warehouse and Keitel is conversing with him. I noticed that there was just like things that were off about
I
it.
did as well.
When the version I have, the opening restaurant scene, the audio was
Bad as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
it sounds like they're very far from the mic.
You can also, you can hear it because I think this was a first film thing as well, where I think you kind of feel like you need to do something different to stand out from the crowd rather than rely on the fundamentals of filmmaking. I know I've obviously never made anything on Tarantino's level, but I know that you do get in your own head about that sort of stuff.
I can see him saying. Someone saying, "Oh, the audio's bad." He goes, "Get fucked."
No,
it's fine.
But it's because he wanted to do
circles.
so many things in long takes, and he's having characters walk far away, and they obviously didn't have mics to cover the distance. You can see it too when Buscemi and Keitel are talking in that separate room, and he leaves it as one long take. You can hear them fumble a couple of lines, and he has to leave it in because, I mean, how many times that's like a 10 minute shot or something. The definite things. It's a first film for sure. But it's such a solid concept and story though.
It's great.
It really, and his dialogue is just so.
But it does what
This movie, there's only one word for the film. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool.
Yeah.
They're cool characters in cool suits doing cool shit, saying cool shit. It's like,
That's
But
right.
I was just going to say it does feel like when they're in the bathroom, you know, he's looking in the mirror and they've got that nice light on that guy's face.
yeah.
But to me, that scene and the scene before, it does feel very stage play.
yeah.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, what about when
That's what I'm saying. It worked perfectly.
Buscemi,
as a stage play.
he kicks Buscemi to the floor and they've got the guns up at each other?
Yeah.
What is
That's the
one
famous.
of the coolest?
That's
famous
the famous shot
shots.
from it. Yeah.
And but that looks straight up from a stage shot.
Yeah.
Like you could see that. You can see that on a stage.
Speaking of holding guns too, something I noticed this time watching it that I'd never picked up on before was if you notice when Mr. Pink is first in there and he starts toying with the idea that there's a rat. Mr. What color is Tim Roth? Mr.
Orange.
Orange.
Mr. Orange,
He takes his gun out. He's holding his gun when they're talking about who the rat could be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you look, he's on the ground and he's got his gun.
He's holding his gun pretty much the whole time.
Wow.
Only when they start talking about the rat, though. That's when he gets
cool.
it out and he's holding it and he's kind of sitting there like trying to grab Keitel to try and stop the conversation from unfolding further.
Yeah.
Because, he needs them not to know what he is.
cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We can talk about that at the end. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we can't not talk about the Vic Vega torture scene. Mr. Blonde's torture scene. Billy, Super Sounds of the 70s, Steel as Wheels, April of 1974, Stuck in the Middle with You, reached number 4 on the charts. I mean,
It's random as.
Jesus, what a run of sentencing. And then also bringing in what is arguably the best fucking song for that scene. There's no other song I could say put with that scene.
Remind me of the song.
Stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you not remember that, Dan?
Man, I don't, all I'm looking at is the direction and the way it was shot. That's not
My
seen.
God. Yeah.
Clowns to the left of me.
I'm a simple-minded,
to the right.
simple-minded man.
Yeah. Just fantastic.
But yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, the whole dance, cutting off the ear, which great prosthetic.
it's heaps good.
So unsettling still.
Still unsettling.
The way the camera moves away from it. I remember watching it as a kid for the first time and just being mortified by that.
Fantastic though. And I also said this. It almost feels like the whole movie is like a short film. Like
yeah, that's what I was saying. It felt like a pro version's short film.
Because it felt like it went in like so quickly.
Yeah.
An hour 30.
Yeah, it's an hour 30.
It's a good length.
It is a good length.
Probably the shortest movie, probably.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, easily.
Things, yeah. Well,
They
from
get
there,
quite
it just keeps
long.
going. Yeah. Up.
Yeah.
Definitely Jackie Brown feels way long, like if I remember correctly.
I've seen it once and I actually enjoyed it.
We also get the first look at things like the chapters.
Yeah, and also
Yes, that's right.
there's a interesting thing that happens in this movie where Pam Grier gets referenced.
Yes, I had that down as well.
She's in Jackie
Ended
Brown.
up in Jackie Brown, but
okay.
he goes, no, it's Christy Lug.
Yeah, it's just that's a funny little thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get our first look at like the whole chapters thing, which is something that I don't think I've seen anyone else do, and that would have been the first closing in on one of the first time people had done it.
Oh,
was
it's back
chapters.
in the old days.
I mean, like 1920s
That's right. Yeah.
and 30s, but yeah, definitely the chaptering is super cool.
His background, he used to work in a video store, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, similar to you. And he used to watch movies all the time.
Yeah, he said he goes, I didn't go to film school, I went to film.
This was the video store era of film. This Kevin Smith was the same. He worked in a video store, and this was like, when these directors are young and watching all these movies because they had easy access to them.
That was their class. We get the commode story, the 4 cops and the dog.
Yep.
It's a super great story, as well as what's that guy from Fantastic Four? The Thing.
Yeah.
He looks like the Thing.
He does look
He
like the
does. When he said that, I went, holy shit, he
God,
does.
You know what makes me laugh even more about that is that people have told my dad he looks like the Thing before.
Really?
Or Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does, yeah.
And then also sticking with the Marvel thing in Tarantino, the Silver Surfer poster in the back.
Yes.
Tarantino wanted to make a Silver Surfer movie. He wrote a script
Yeah. Oh, really?
and pitched it. Yeah.
Well, he also
And
wrote
there was a quote in there too.
Star Trek.
He wrote a Star Trek
Yeah.
that he pitched as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is that still going ahead?
nah.
Okay.
Dead.
I would have loved to see his interpretation of the
Yeah.
Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
I want to give high props to. We've already said big things about each actor, but man, Tim Roth in his apartment before he leaves, getting the chain, getting the ring out.
Reminds me of Taxi Driver.
I love that. I loved that scene. I think that was. It is the most underrated scene in the film because him talking to himself and going like, "They don't know. You got this."
Yeah.
It's so
There's
awesome.
also when he leaves, there's the cops following him. I said, you got to have balls to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
do
sort
that,
of just adding to it.
Love it. We get hooked on a feeling.
Yeah.
Straight away, I was like Guardians of the Galaxy in my head.
Joko.
Yeah. This movie does though have a lot of like racism
Oh,
throughout
Yeah.
the whole thing.
yeah.
I mean, that is.
The N-word was said like 1,000
1,000
times.
times.
I'm
man.
not saying right or wrong for either side because I'm not involved enough in the debate to be able to say, but it's something that has haunted Tarantino throughout his career is the choice of language that he decides to use and things like that.
Yeah, I definitely. This was.
It seems the most out of place in this movie, definitely.
Yeah, because it feels the most hard hitting. Like it feels like it's just verbosely gross.
Yeah, it
in
does.
This movie.
Yeah,
and it's because it's a whole bunch of white men.
yeah.
And as he continues, that changes a bit, but not by much.
But Mr. that Mr. Orange?
Mr. Orange.
Oh, his captain.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's wearing like that outfit like he's straight out of the Warriors as well.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I just
What's
think
that
of,
about?
I just think of like the Chuck Norris World War II movies.
Yeah.
He,
Well, no,
he looks
Vietnam
like
movies,
he's in the Warriors gang.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
looks like.
The
Yeah, no shirt, just at the
Yeah.
jacket. Yeah.
yeah. Another great story, the glue the dick to the belly.
Yeah.
I also liked how that they're all sitting there when they're getting the names for the first time, and they zoom in on each character's face.
Yeah.
A cool choice.
Yeah.
Moving ahead though, the choice of song for the credits, because I just want to get straight to the end here. We love the standoff. The standoff is super tense between them,
Oh,
and
it's
it
incredible.
goes really quick as well, which I like. I like that it didn't linger on this stance. It wasn't like the good, the bad, and the ugly. It was
Yeah.
straight to like, put my gun, put the gun down. You don't point at my father, and then just fucking bam,
Bam,
all
bam,
goes.
bam.
Just
Yeah, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah. Just on that scene, I really wish Harvey Keitel got a bit more thrown his way, because I think I personally think he's better than De Niro. That's just my
Really?
I think
I reckon he's
Bad Lieutenant, man. You've seen Bad Lieutenant.
Yeah,
No, I haven't
Harvey went a bit more art house than De Niro though. He's never been like a super mainstream actor. He's always wanted to
so
pick
annoying.
like The Piano. He's really famous for that movie, The Piano.
Oh, okay.
He's had an interesting career. Like the spotlight. He doesn't like it.
Yeah.
He wants
Yeah,
to
you
do
can
weird
tell.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
Well, Tarantino.
From Dusk Till Dawn is weird.
Yeah.
He was
Exactly.
in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like Keitel, Bad Lieutenant's your movie, man.
Oh, check it out.
Yeah.
The Piano is a really good movie too.
Yeah.
Set in Australia or New Zealand. One or two.
Yeah, the choice of song for the last thing is what I was going to say. The coconut, put the lime in the coconut. I was like, what the fuck? It's just a real Tarantino ending as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that all around the film, jumping into it, the ending of this, that was pretty much my notes.
Yep.
Summed
It's very
up.
simple. Very
Yeah.
very simple movie.
Super simple, and it's just focused so heartily on just the actors and their performances.
Yeah.
which is
Simple but
fantastic.
effective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will get a sacket or brisket for this film from you, Dan.
Yeah. Okay.
A little context for new listeners. Sacket or brisket came from Dan's love of beef briskets. Check out the Enola Holmes episode. And the unique term to sack that if he doesn't like something. So is he going to sack this flick's cinematography or make a beef brisket and love every single morsel of its visuals?
Well,
Was that weird because I didn't do it?
no, it's good. I like it. Anything that
Wasn't
comes from your
creepy.
mouth, I like it.
Ew. Continue.
Declan's face.
Fuck, this happened.
Yeah, look, man. This did have to me, like I said, a really good student vibe to it. So I'm not going to give it a brisket because
That's fair enough.
yeah, look, man.
Well, it's only going to go up from here,
Oh, mate.
cinematography wise. So
It's
if you gave us
so-
a brisket,
yeah.
you're not giving yourself much room.
Nah. So yeah, it's definitely not a brisket. There's a few cool shots in it. Like I said, when Harvey looks into the mirror, I like how they lit that up. I like the use of the wide lenses where they're just looking down the hallway. Harvey's talking
Yeah.
to Bashumi. You don't see him. There's a lot of just ruckus going on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, and as well, I think it's quite easy filming one room
Yeah.
and let people playing around in that room. But again, in saying that, when we talk about Hateful Eight, the cinematography in that is just batshit crazy. And again, that's pretty much one room. but it's
He's,
that
so
also
good.
feels like-
he's also 8 movies in at that point.
Yeah.
Yes.
so.
Also, the technical, the use of like gear that he's using there is actually like astounding.
I mean,
at
even
that
to
point.
go on to something that you're very fond of, Reece, but I mean, compare production design from this movie to Hateful Eight.
yeah.
And so,
Yeah,
you know, it's
that's
like
true.
it's-
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that old film look. And straight away, it just it gives me vibes of when I was a kid watching those old classic films. And
Yeah.
hats off to him for keeping that, throughout his career.
That whole run, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, there's not really anything else that really stands out to me.
Yeah. Can I predict where I think your first brisket is going to be for him? Mm-hmm. I'm going to say your first brisket for Tarantino. I don't even think it's going to be in the Kill Bills. I'm going to say Inglourious Bastards. But we'll see. I don't want to like...
Kill Bill Vol 2 is pretty good.
Yeah, but...
Kill Bill 1's got some good sequences in it too.
But we'll see. I'd like to see where Dan stands with it, but I like that you've gotten a bit more, you know, like...
It's got to be really damn good.
Yeah, to get that. I like that. I rather that. Yeah. But I agree with what you said as well. It does feel like it's like his best student film, because it's his only student film.
And and if I shot something like that, I'll be pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
So
I'd love to see. He had one movie before it, which was just him in it. And I'd love to see that because it's almost like a camcorder film.
Okay.
But it's like a full movie. I would love to just check it out and see what it would have been like. Anyway, moving on. Declan.
Yeah.
This is the first time that you are going to be giving us the facts.
Yep. So
when did this happen? I forgot. Oh, that's right.
Last week.
Yeah.
That's
good.
said I'd do it to take some of the burden off Reece boy here because he does a lot for the podcast, and I sort of just turn up and speak and don't do much else.
Yeah.
So
can you shoot this in the belly and bleed us out some factoids?
Yeah, I'll give you some K-Billy's facts of the 70s. So the budget of this film was so low that the actors had to wear their own wardrobe.
Wow.
So Chris Penn's jacket, that's his jacket. Lots of the suits were provided for free by a designer because she loved the American crime genre. Steve Buscemi wore his own black jeans instead of suit pants. And Michael Madsen's jacket was a mixture of two different suits. His pants and jacket were from two different suits.
Wow.
Okay.
That says a lot about how like it was like so tight on the bottom and then like big on the top.
I would not have known Buscemi was wearing jeans.
No.
Yeah. And Madonna really liked the movie, but refuted Tarantino's interpretation, saying that it's not about like a sex lover. It's about someone falling in love.
I read that one. Yeah. Sent him a message for it, didn't he?
Funny.
She sent him a message years later and said,
I think she wrote him a letter.
It's not about dicks, it's about love. She said.
Tarantino originally wanted to play the part of Mr. Pink for himself when he wrote it.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
But he let the other actors audition, and Buscemi said that he like really wanted to play it, and Tarantino said, "Well, I really want it for myself, so you're going to have to do a killer audition." And
wow,
lo and behold, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that.
I'm so glad that went that way as well.
Tarantino's a good actor.
He's good for something like Mr. Brown. That's it.
Yeah. And this one's a cool one. Michael Madsen said that the guy who played the cop, whose name is Kirk Boltz, actually asked to ride in the trunk to experience what it was like.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So Madsen agreed, but decided as he drove along that he was going to develop his character. So he drove down a long alley with potholes and then a Taco Bell drive-through before taking Boltz back to the parking lot.
Oh, my God.
And then this is a cool one of like the Tarantino verse. So Vic Vega in this movie is the brother of Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
John Travolta's character.
That's cool.
And Tarantino was originally planning to do a prequel movie called The Vega Brothers. But both actors got too old. They got too old for the roles.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. And then I've got some big ones here. I think this one's pretty interesting about the history of Tarantino. When he was working at Video Archives, he was planning to make the movie on a budget of $30,000, 16mm, black and white.
Yeah.
With producer Lawrence Bender. Bender gave the script to his acting teacher to have a read of, whose wife knew Harvey Keitel and gave it to Harvey Keitel.
Oh my God.
Keitel liked it so much that he's decided to co-sign on as a producer and raised an additional $1.5 million for the film.
Man, small world. He's lucky, man.
Just made.
He's very lucky.
A 1.5. That's super lucky.
Yeah, man.
And as I said, it was an abandoned mortuary that they used.
$33,000 he was going to shoot it for.
Yeah.
He was going to pull the Clerks with it. That's
Yeah,
what he was
pretty
gonna
much.
do.
Yeah.
And this was the first time when people said that Tarantino ripped off other movies and things like that, he said that he pays homage.
He always says he pays homage.
Which I think is true.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he does.
Yeah.
He pulls from everything.
Yeah.
I mean, Django is pretty much just one big homage.
Yeah, it is.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And this movie has a lot, like the names are from The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of references to crime movies and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
So cool.
I think he pulls in a complimenting way. I don't think he steals.
Well, it goes from
exactly.
his past as well as a
Yeah.
Well,
video store clerk.
Yeah.
yeah. As well as, he doesn't do a shit job. So that helps. If it was a shit movie, then maybe we'd all be there going, "Oh, that was wrong."
Man,
I
I think he's at the mercy of Harvey Keitel because I think he was the one that started his career off
think you're probably
in
right.
mainstream. Yeah,
In all retrospect, without him, he wouldn't have had Reservoir Dogs at that level,
No.
quality, and
crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it may have never been nothing.
Yeah.
It may have been just that Tarantino would have. Maybe he would have gone on. I could have seen him going on to do theatre, just generally.
man,
I don't think he would have ever not done.
I think
something.
I think when he does his final film, he'll do a play.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he'll do plays after it for sure.
That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This goes to show, right? It's either who you know to get in there, but you still got to obviously have the chops to do it.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to break into like the mainstream.
What's
For
that
anything
line
you do now,
from?
It's really hard.
Jeez, well, I've forgotten his name. The comedy director, Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
His line in The Disaster Artist, when Franco's character's trying to talk to him at the cafe, and he says, he goes, "Listen to me." He goes, "Even with Brando's talent, it's a 1 in a million shot."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was going to
Pretty
say,
much.
imagine how many other Tarantinos are out there, or how many Spielbergs are out there.
Yeah.
If you give them $1 million, or $2-3 million,
I think it's hard. I think it's a lot. It's also though that time period when Tarantino
so
came
perfect.
up. It was like, yeah, you're right. It was perfect because it was pretty open. Like the festival circuit wasn't an established thing yet. It was pretty open, and people were able to sort of still get through. Now it's flooded, man.
Yeah.
There's when I went to Cannes and you see how many other people they're making short films. It's
yeah, I
just
saw
like,
that book that you sent.
Everybody has the ability to do it now. Everybody
Yeah.
has the technology at their fingertips, the ability to edit the film.
Yeah.
It's all there
Yeah.
if
You
you're
do.
willing to learn.
yeah.
And
But you do.
um,
It is. There is a. I'm going to say like a pretty large percentage of it, and there's nothing wrong with this. Every industry in the world works like this, but you do need an in. You need an in.
Yeah.
You're not. People just aren't going to look at you unless they have some
But
sort
the
of
biggest
backstory.
thing is persistence, and well, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, you need persistence.
you
do.
got to learn. You got to learn your own.
Yeah.
Your
And
own
you-
boundary
yeah.
of where
You do need
learn
persistence
to
and
stop.
dedication.
And if you, and you haven't got the balls, man, flick next.
Yeah, or you got to be happy with. You got to be happy with what occurs either way.
Yeah, and
Because it is what it is at the end of the day with it. And,
It's true.
You know, you got to be happy that you get to make a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as
That's the first thing.
As Andy Murray said, this kind of relates to it when he was desperately trying to win a Grand Slam because he kept coming up against Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer, like historically 3 of the greatest sportsmen of all time in the same era as him, which was like
Yeah.
everyone always says if he was 10 years earlier, would he be thought of differently, And before he won his first Wimbledon, he said, I lost the Australian Open, and he said, I actually had to sit down and go, look, you might not win a Grand Slam. And he's like, I had to come to peace with that
Heck to go.
and let go of the desperation that I was feeling. And he said once he did that, he just felt open and it just like could move forward. And that's when he finally won.
Yeah, it's hectic.
Yeah.
It's hectic. But the other thing too is I see is, especially with a lot of filmmakers, if you see an opportunity, just grab it by the horns, man, and take
Yeah.
it. Yeah, because that won't come back ever again.
Well, I will
Most of the
say 100% at the moment, for example, the industry in Australia is going to boom.
Yes.
I'm actually thinking of moving out to another state because Hollywood's moving over here.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Man, see, Matt Damon was having beers with people in bloody Sydney pub, man.
Yeah, well, all the productions are coming over
all
here.
here. It's awesome.
So
Yeah.
I mean, it's here, and I can see even Western Australia is building things
Yeah,
now
it's
as
massive,
well.
yeah.
Well, look, we've got so much land out here, man.
Yeah,
So much land.
and all of it. No one's really sick, and the country isn't like
We've
it's
been
not
very,
in
very fortunate. over
super
the years.
fortunate
Man,
with everything.
So lucky. Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah, but we're lucky
If
to
there's
be here doing this right now.
If there's exactly, yeah.
I think as much as some stuff has slipped through the cracks, I think that like because our universities and everything is so skewed toward this, I think our science and the fact that we have such high quality science and medicine is like with the contact tracing and everything, has really helped us get it.
We're also pretty open as a country.
That helps too, but like I do think that all of it mixed together is like if they weren't tracking it, people would just be walking around.
Yeah.
The biggest advantage I think we got is we haven't got, well, it's two things. We live on a massive island, and the second thing is our population isn't as big as the other countries.
Yeah, we don't have like a couple of 100 million people.
So it does help.
Helpful.
Yeah,
for sure.
And we're all
in
nice
Rona
people.
standards for sure.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we're an extremely lucky country, man.
Yeah, and going back to it and touching just really quickly on it again, I'm super keen to see what happens with our film industry here. Yeah, because it's just gonna skyrocket.
Yeah,
I can just see it skyrocketing.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. Started with yourself,
me.
Dan. Your final thoughts, and also I got to start writing.
Oh yes,
I've got to do a. We'll do scores first.
Yep.
And then we'll do rankings.
I'm just gonna have to look at his filmography to get them all in my head again.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Okay, let me bring it up. So,
well, just first you just do the score for this one.
yes, okay, sorry. So my score for this is 7.5.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic film for a director that wasn't known. And he's actually, I'm going to say Denis Villeneuve is following in those footsteps for his own genre of films that he does. And you know we've been talking about it with Villeneuve. He's like, when's he going to make a shit movie?
Yeah, I'm really like he's due for one, but like he's well and truly due for one.
And June could be the make or break for him. I think.
Yeah, but I do think that Villeneuve so far has I've never seen maybe Tarantino might be it, but even I think depending on what I think of Jackie Brown when we get to it, that may be his like lower part. But so far, I mean, he's pretty much done a Villeneuve, but for 30 years or something. Yeah. So
no, it's pretty,
instead of 5 or 10.
And I think Tarantino has been the most consistent director. Like Spielberg's had flops.
Yeah.
All the other guys have had flops.
Yeah.
Look at
I
Scorsese,
wasn't really into
all those people. Yeah.
Spielberg's BFG. I wasn't really into that.
Yeah.
I really liked an underrated film for him. I think is Tintin.
Oh,
I think Tintin was fucking fantastic.
Dude, I watched that about 5 days ago.
It's so good.
It's like watching Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that's exactly what I.
Have you seen that?
Sorry,
Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if I've watched the whole thing though.
oh man,
It's worth it,
The
man.
scene where
Let's check it.
where that waterfalls, the water's coming out from the thing. It's it's insane, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a very underrated movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so look, overall, it's a great movie, great first film, and speaking of, because I've seen those other movies, it's so good to see that he has kept that style, and it's a Tarantino movie. The
Progression.
yeah, but he improves on it, and he just makes his own, and hats off to him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 7.5.
7.5. Now I need to get.
Have you got the list there, Declan?
I've got like the Wikipedia filmography of him. Yeah.
So I can tell you the.
I'll do mine first, and then you can go off.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me do my score of this.
Yeah.
I do think that Reservoir Dogs, obviously being a first film, it's not weaker. It's actually up there in the higher ones because of the quality that it is straight off the gate. But it's definitely the film that I've now come to fruition is easier to watch maybe of all of the Tarantino movies because it's short.
Yeah.
It's almost like I felt like, as I said, I watched a short film and it felt like it went for about 50 minutes, the whole movie.
Yeah, man.
In like the feeling of it.
Yeah, it flies.
Yeah. So for that reason, and because like every single story in this film is just super enjoyable, and the actors are punching
That's so
in
good,
their
man.
game in this movie. The screaming, the energy put into it. I'm gonna easily give this movie an 8.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's a good range.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do these in conjunction with Tarantino movies. That's how I'm gonna rate them.
Yeah, 'cause it's
as
too-
a Tarantino's
it's too hard to do
filmography.
it by itself, I think.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, it's odd because it's nice to think that Tarantino movies actually sit pretty in the realm of where you would kind of just rate any movie. So, but I think as a Tarantino film, this is
I'm going to put it out there too. Like, it's bloody hard making a movie,
yeah,
and it's hard getting all the beats right, and it's hard getting all the right actors. It's hard getting the right script. It's hard doing everything. But this guy's kept it freaking consistent, man.
yeah,
He knows, well, A, he's gifted,
yeah,
but he knows what works.
yeah.
And is he tied to a studio? Is it Warner's?
Well, he was for a while. He was tied to
Weinstein.
Oh, Weinstein, that's right, yeah.
for a very long
That's
time.
right.
I don't know if he still is. Probably.
No, they're not a company anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
No?
It's finished, yeah.
Huh.
So,
Wonder who he's with.
yeah, man, this guy,
Maybe just his own.
yeah, I don't
At
know.
this
I'm
point.
just amazed that, like he had that lucky hit with, with Harvey.
Keitel, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, man. It's
Also, like,
it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is to do with the film, but also just the creator. Tarantino, he's one of the most enjoyable people to listen to talk about movies.
yeah.
Like, he's up there with like Scorsese with talking about movies. He's got like an encyclopedic
Yeah.
knowledge of everything. So, I mean, he'd probably be pretty intimidating to interview.
Yeah.
Because you just feel like you'd have like moments where you're just like, I don't know nowhere near the amount of shit you know about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that is such a cool part of it. He still commonly has movie viewings with people that he just friends at his house,
It's so good.
which is awesome as well.
So-
So Declan, we'll do yours first with the run.
Yep.
So at the moment he's got 9 movies that he considers his
Yep.
9 films.
All right. So, number 1 would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Really?
Really like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 2 would
That's
be
interesting.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
I think you'll be annoyed when I do my Kill Bills.
3 would be Inglourious Bastards.
Yes.
4 Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
5 Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
6 Django Unchained. Do we counting Death Proof?
Nah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a part of his 9,
Yes,
though.
it is.
Is it?
Yeah. It
You
is.
sure?
100% sure.
So I've done 6, yeah?
Oh, okay.
I've
Yeah.
done 6?
Correct.
Yeah. Then it would be Hateful Eight.
Why did you put Death Proof first? Yeah.
No, I haven't put that yet.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, take that off. Death Proof.
Oh, you haven't put it on yet?
No, didn't I do 6?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So Django.
H8. Yeah.
Yeah. Then this would be number 8, yeah?
Yeah.
Death Proof. And only because I can't remember it at all.
Pulp.
I can't.
It's
I haven't
Jackie.
done. Oh, I didn't put Pulp in there.
Yeah. See, now there's 10. Told you. Death Proof isn't in there. That's not his movie. That's a shared one.
No.
I forgot about Pulp. Pulp should be higher.
Yeah. Death Proof is not on the list
I think it is, though.
because that'll make it 10.
I don't think he does count it in his like.
Yeah, it's not in there.
Isn't it?
No. Because that's 9. And then his next one is that other one.
So what is my list then? Because my list has Death Proof on it.
No,
I got to check.
It's not in there.
Jackie Brown just at the end because I can't remember it at all.
So we got Death Proof there.
So you got to add in Pulp in there somewhere.
Pulp would probably be.
See, I can't remember Pulp much. I just remember one scene.
Jeez.
No, 2 scenes.
Pulp would be just above Django.
Pulp just above Django.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me read this out. Once Upon a Time, Kill Bill, Inglourious, Reservoir, Kill Bill Volume 1. So Kill Bill Volume 2 was number 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction, Django, Hateful Eight, and Jackie Brown. I want to see what the hell my list was.
Just because I can't remember Jackie Brown at all. I can't even remember it.
From the last time I watched it, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I just literally have no memory, so I don't want to put it anyway because...
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, but I can't remember. It's the other movies are... A fair few of the movies are a bit of a blur. So that's why I'm keen to get back into it.
Yeah, you don't have Death Proof.
Yeah, you're right.
on there.
Death Proof isn't on there. I must have done the whole layout for it on the... Anyway.
I thought so.
Interesting. Okay. All right. That's an interesting list.
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't have expected that run, but that's cool. All right. Dan Man.
Yeah. Again, I've got to.
Can you understand that writing?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen many of those movies in a long time.
Mm.
So look, I'm gonna probably put.
It's a hard list.
Number one, I'm probably gonna go Django.
Django.
Yep.
Wow, that's an interesting number one. Yeah.
Then I'm probably gonna go. Your fingers are shaking like crazy.
Yeah, no, I haven't eaten all day,
That's hectic.
so I'm losing.
So move it along, Dan.
This,
So I got to get ready for work.
This is really hard. It's really hard because they're all pretty much ranked the same for me. Shit. All right.
That's why I just threw a list out because it's going to change.
Yeah, it's going to change. Yeah. All right. So I'm probably going to make number 9. Put number 9 at the end. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't. Okay. All right. So Django Unchained. I'll probably go. Once Upon a Time.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Inglorious.
Yeah.
Probably Reservoir.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot about Hateful Eight. Actually, can you do Hateful Eight as number 2?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll go better.
Yeah.
And then we've got so Reservoir's in there.
Mm-hmm.
See, I can't remember Pulp Fiction. That's the hardest thing.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably put it there because I know it's damn good.
Pulp.
And yeah, Jackie Brown. And I'll probably put my Kill Bills last because
Really?
it's, to me, they're just different movies to these other movies. But I'm saying I still enjoy them. That's why it's so hard, man.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Which one? Kill Bill 1 or 2 first?
No, go 2 first, and keep it 1. Yeah. That's so
All
close.
right.
Yeah, it's
So
hard.
yeah, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
Django number 1, Hateful Eight 2, Once Upon a Time 3, Inglorious 4, Reservoir Dogs 5, Pulp Fiction 6, Jackie Brown 7, Kill Bill Volume 2, and then Volume 1, 8, and 9.
Actually, switch Reservoir with Inglorious. Yep.
You think you'll like it more?
Yep. Inglorious had
Res
I think it was a bit too long.
Ing. All right.
But again, amazing.
Yeah, number 1 for me, straight off the bat, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah, I
And
could see
then-
this. I could see this fit.
And
yeah.
then Kill Bill Volume 2.
Yeah, I knew it.
I actually think
I
that
knew it,
those
man.
movies
I'm not
almost
surprised.
fit perfectly as a one movie, but that's just me. Number 2 is a toss-up between, it's hard because it's definitely between Inglorious and Pulp. But I think just generally for tension's sake, Inglorious. Number 4 would be Pulp.
I can imagine listeners listening to this now going, "Oh, why'd you put that there?" Everyone will have a different list.
Yeah. Then number 5, what are we on? Would be Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Number 6 would be Django.
I watched
No.
that recently. It's so good, man.
Once would be number 6. Number 7 would be Django.
Is that because you read the script?
No, I like
Okay.
Django more than Hateful Eight because it's just more like it's more of a story than just a room, and I think The Room was done better with Reservoir Dogs,
Okay.
in my opinion. H8, and then number 9, Jackie Brown, because yet again, Jackie Brown just feels like a weird one.
The whole room thing. I just like how Hateful Eight, everyone's in their own little spot. That's what I
Yeah.
like about it.
It's super interesting
Where
because
Reservoir,
we're
it's just
all
one spot.
we're all in
Makes sense?
such a different areas
Yeah.
with with our list. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think we don't even need really final thoughts at the end of the day. I think we've pretty much given very much so a lot on it.
Two thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Exactly.
fantastic.
Yeah. So we've just reviewed and ordered up in a list all the Tarantino movies. But we just reviewed Reservoir Dogs.
The most simplest movie, I think.
The beginning. From the number one.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Neon Radio. I'm Reece.
And I'm Mr. Pink.
We're going to be okay. I'm Declan.
And you have a good week.
Respect.